Okay, right now I'm literally seething with rage, and I feel this is a good time to upload this video because my feelings are very raw, and if I wait till later on, I won't be able to express in the way that I want to. Okay, so I've just come off a video. I deliberately typed it in because I've heard people quoting it on various unemployment groups I'm on online. And it was basically a confrontation on question time between Iain Duncan Smith, the Department of Work and Pensions Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, and Owen Jones, a prominent anti-poverty campaigner. Basically, and I'll put a link to this in the video, Owen Jones was confronting Smith on the fact that disabled people have been told they're okay to work, and in some cases they've been terminally ill. I think he quoted two people who died days later from their terminal illness, and they'd been told they were fit for work. Duncan's response was something bizarre. It was like, I noticed Owen Jones didn't quote the 2.5 million people who are unemployed who were trying to help. That was a void answer. It didn't say anything. It just didn't say anything, because Owen Jones was raising the very issue of issues that impact the unemployed. And for Iain Duncan Smith to sit there and say we're trying to help them, that's just, if you actually believe that Tories want to help all the unemployed, you're just ignorant. I was disgusted that the studio audience were clearly in favour of Duncan Smith. Owen Jones got a few claps for his very valid point, but unfortunately, and I'm sad to say that Duncan Smith got more. First of all, if you were in that audience and you were clapping for Duncan Smith, fuck you. Fuck you. You ignorant, low-life piece of shit. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. You don't know the fucking issues. And I am absolutely seething with rage. And quite honestly, this is not a word I would throw around, but I cannot think of any other valid word but fascism. Fascism. That is what we are seeing with this fucking Tory party. This evil, callous, cowardly, cold-blooded fucking Tories. Like Iain Duncan Smith. Chris Grayling's another one. These people are devoid of humanity. If you really believe that they're trying to help the unemployed, you're just plain stupid. What they're doing is enforcing populist, counterproductive policies that do not work. And I know they don't work because the government's target of 5% of people getting through on the work programme, the result was actually 3.5%, which means that their programme has failed. The work programme, as a lot of people have been predicting, has failed. It's counterproductive. It criminalises law-abiding citizens. We have a situation in this country, and I am so angry right now. I'm so angry. We have a situation in this country where there's a group of struggling people, the unemployed, and especially disabled Britons, who I cannot think of a time in my lifetime where there has been deeper bigotry in this country towards a certain group of people. Especially, I can't imagine what life is like for disabled Britons right now, with the vilification, the hate campaign, the patronising language of cards, low-life, sick cards like Iain Duncan Smith. And I swear to God, if violence came to that man, I'm not saying it's justified, but he is making himself deeply hated by a lot of people because of the fact that he is stirring up hatred against them through his lies. And we have a situation in this country where the right-wing propaganda machine is very powerful, sadly. You know, the Tories rely on the gutter press, the right-wing gutter press, the Sun, the Express, the Mail, and other poisonous rags to promote their propaganda and lies. And I'm seething with rage, you know. And so if I'm kind of cutting through my own sentences and so on, it's because I'm so angry right now. I'm so angry that the ignorance in this country. I'm so angry at privileged pond life scum who have never experienced unemployment clapping and thinking it's easy. To hell with those people. To hell with every last one of them. I hope every last one of them loses their jobs, falls on their face, and then they know what it will be like. I hate them. And I have nothing but hatred and contempt for sick, stupid, ignorant little shits who think that this is easy. You have no idea. You're clueless. And they generally come under several categories. There are those who are outright Nazis, who actually proudly say they think unemployed people should be culled, etc. Disabled Britons should be culled. Then you have just the ignorant who think they know the facts because they're fueled on the gutter press. They may not be as vitriolic about it, but they're still piss ignorant and they're still bigots. And then you get a small category who are people who don't really care much either way. That's quite a small category actually, because nowadays people tend to have quite heated views on this. Then you have the fourth category, people like myself who know the truth, who have experienced the truth, and who are sick to the teeth of what is happening here. People are dying, literally dying. I'm not talking metaphorically, like it's a hard time. I'm talking literally dying. In some cases because of the terminal illnesses. Now you'll say, okay, they would die anyway. But the point is, they are being kicked when they're down. They're being basically, as they're dealing with one of the hardest situations of their lives, then they're being told they're fraudsters. They're being told they're liars. They're being told they're lazy. This is fascism. That's what it is. And we have a fascist government to some extent. In terms of domestic policies, I believe Britain's welfare policies are fascist right now. And I make no apologies for using that word. Now, I'm not making any comparisons with the Shoah. That would be inappropriate. So I'm not suggesting that David Cameron is Hitler or something like that. But we do have extremely cruel, extremely callous welfare policies in place in this country. And sadly, there remains many people, probably a majority of people who really, really don't understand until they have been in the shoes of people who have been through this. And we are not talking here about people who are frauding the system. We're not talking about lazy ASBO families who... we're talking about 2.5 million unemployed people from a wide range of different backgrounds, including, by the way, ex-servicemen and women. And you know, I knew clicking on the video would probably piss me off, but what pisses me off more than Duncan's response, because I knew he would come out with something like that, was that ignorant bloody crowd. And this happened during the prime ministerial questions in the general election 2010. I think there was a man asking about how are you going to get tough on the unemployed or something like that. You could be damn sure there's never any questions about callous welfare policies, because at the moment we have a media bias, a very strong media bias, even in the BBC, against the unemployed, and I'm disgusted by what's happening in this country. I'm not saying unemployed people are above criticism. I'm not saying they should be wrapped in cotton wool. What I'm saying is we have a very organised campaign of hatred and distortion going on in this country right now, and it both frightens and deeply angers me. It frightens me because this is how situations develop when you have a group of people who start to be targeted. And I won't be surprised if we'll start hearing reports about claimants being physically attacked and so on, because Tory cards like Iain Duncan Smith are encouraging and promoting it. As are the poisonous, lying gutter press, edited by evil, sick leeches like Dominic Mohan. And I don't care how crude that language is, that's how angry I am right now. Frankly, I would have to be very careful, because if I was in the presence of one of these people, I could... Well, I've never committed a crime in my life, but I'm so angry at the injustice going on here that it's got to the point where I'm starting to think words are not enough. And these people need to be really... Because odious reptiles like Dominic Mohan, editor of The Sun, hide behind their editor's desk. They're untouchable. And I would love these people to face their karma long and hard. In fact, quite frankly, I would love Dominic Mohan to be caught down a back alley by some unemployed people who he's been bad mouthing, and for him to be beaten to a bloody pulp. I really wouldn't care less. I'm not calling for it. I'm just saying that if it happened, I really wouldn't give a shit. Because these sick people are callous, cold-blooded cards. And what they're doing is they're making life much, much harder for people who are finding life hard enough as it is. And for the ignorant pond life who think that unemployment's easy, I hope you lose your job, I hope you fall on your face, and I hope your words come back to haunt you hard. That's it. And I'll make a final point. I do believe in diplomacy, I believe in diplomatic language. But when you've been in my shoes, and when you've been in the shoes of people who have gone through this, and I'm not disabled, I'm able-bodied, I'm healthy, so I haven't been through anywhere near what those people are going through, and my heart goes out to them, because I can't imagine how hard it is struggling with a terminal illness, then being told you're lazy, to rub salt into the wound. And then when you get populist cards like Iain Duncan Smith trying to stir up that hatred and hostility, it's sickening, and it is fascist in my opinion. It's fascist to stir up hatred against... I saw someone make an interesting point recently. Just because that word... why is it we cannot make some parallels with what happened in the 30s and 40s in Europe? Why can't we? I mean, I'm not saying here that the Tory party are Hitlers in the making. I'm not saying that. And I'm not making comparisons with the Shoah. That would be wrong. It wouldn't be accurate. But why should it be controversial to use the word fascist when, to all extents and purposes, that's what it is? The Tories do believe unemployed people are inferior, and they do believe disabled unemployed people are inferior. That is a fascist viewpoint. There's no question about that. It is a fascist viewpoint. And if you don't believe that their language, their distortion is having any impact, I invite you to just look at some of these videos and look at the Tory comments. Now, it's true that my comments in this video have been pretty vitriolic as well, but I'm the underdog here. I'm someone who's struggling with unemployment. They're in a position of power and strength. I'm not so angry for myself as I am for other people who are struggling through this, especially disabled people. It's pushing them to the brink of suicide, and I do think the Tory party probably wants that, so they can cleanse the population, because they are fascists and it's what they want to do. And no words can express my hatred for Toryism right now, and their cowardly domestic populist policies. The biggest lie of all is that it's designed to help. It's not designed to help. It's absolutely not designed to help. It's designed solely for the purpose of punishment, humiliation, for those aspects, as a nod to the gutter press. And the disturbing thing is a lot of people go along with it, because there are a lot of ignorant pawn life in this country. And then you get people who are intelligent and know full well it's wrong, but they're just callous fascists. They know it's wrong. They're intelligent people. They know it's wrong, but they're cold-blooded and they don't care. And there are a lot of vultures in this country. Vultures like Jeremy Kyle and Gordon Ramsay who are stirring up the lies. I hope karma smashes them hard in the face. Like I say, I really couldn't care less if those guys died tomorrow. I believe it would make this country a better place if they were 6 foot under. I do believe that. I'm not calling for violence against them. That wouldn't be practical. But if something did happen to them, I really wouldn't care less. They're evil, callous people, in my opinion. And if you think unemployment's easy, I sincerely hope that you lose your job and you're forced to sign on. And if you're in a similar situation to me and you think I'm maybe overreacting or I'm using too strong a language, you know, I'm sure most unemployed people there have felt my anger at some time. All I'm doing is expressing it publicly. You may choose to do it privately, but I'm just expressing this publicly. So don't judge me because I'm sure you can relate exactly to what I'm saying. Have to leave it there.